Derby, and there were cars with panels hanging off left, right and centre, but they've driven very well over the last 2 nights. And we're just waiting now. We've got 14 cars out. We're still waiting for the 15th car to turn up. We're not sure what the delay is.
Collie wasn't listed as a starter, perhaps taking the place of the 59 car, which was Andrew Kirby.
Right, thank you very much.
20 laps.
20 laps to go.
2-0. So they're in the starter's hands. Tony will probably do one preliminary lap around the track.
Now this race grant is brought to us by Bunbury Collie Transport, the couriers who do the trip from Bunbury to Collie on a regular basis. The Bunbury Collie Transport bringing all the goods from wherever it comes in Western Australia up to Collie, and great supporters of Collie Speedway is Bunbury Collie Transport. They've sponsored some events here for us on a number of occasions, and putting some money back to where they drag it from is Bunbury Collie Transport. Proud to be involved with Griffin Coal, Premier Coal and local businesses of Collie. For friendly and reliable service, contact Graham and Leanne Coots, the proprietors. And Grant, yes, I have used them a few times as couriers to get goods to Collie for myself. So Collie Bunbury Transport are the sponsors of this event. Cars now in race order, waiting for a start as they come in to greet the judge. Car number 25, Ted Wright, setting the pace. Watch for the action as lights go green, a great start. 20-lap journey as Sean Graham very quickly goes to the race lead. We've been running 25-lap feature races at Collie all season, and many of these drivers have been in that. Down the back straightaway, Sean Graham knows that he can do 25, so should knock off 20 in quick time. Okay, so Stokoe's taking a short cut across the infield. He didn't like the track, so he thought he'd try the infield. He'd get back on at the rear. Well, I'm not sure. Stokoe well, he's going to give it his best shot. So he gets going and stays on the same lap. A restart will help him. But there's no restart yet. Sean Graham leads the charge. Ted Wright back to John Kenny. Scotty Hunter. Then we go to John Amato. Behind John Amato, I just missed who it was. Paul Belfield, I'm pretty sure, Sid Streetfield. Rob Starkey's there. Down the back straight they go past the smoke-free WA sign. Kenny Stokoe now will have to pull out something special if he doesn't want to get lapped by these cars. Down the front straight they come. John Kenny's underneath Ted Wright, who came very high. So John Kenny now takes up second place on the inside of Ted Wright. Here comes Scotty Hunter now in car 71. He comes out of turn number 2 like the bullet out of a gun. Takes up third place on the track. Kenny Stokoe is not getting away. Sean Graham's catching him, so we could see Kenny Stokoe get lapped as John Kenny's in second. Go back to Scott Hunter. Behind Scott Hunter comes Ted Wright. Then we go back to Paul Belfield, Sid Streetfield, Rob Starkey. Well, somebody's shooting through. I think it's Eddie Holt in car number 31. Shot through up there right on Rob Starkey. So there's plenty of action for the miners as Stokoe pulls out. He'll go and put the coloured hat on and wait for the bar to open. So the race leader, Sean Graham in car number 9, holding on to a handy little mortgage here now as he goes past the Who Will Score. John Kenny's in second. Then we go back then to car number 71, Scott Hunter, Ted Wright. And Sean Graham has done the tutu thing. I would have chucked it in reverse if it was me. I would have chucked it in the reverse if it was me. Colin Dovey hasn't seen John Triplett. So the two have come into the Mixmaster world as Sean Graham has got the car locked up on Palmer's turn. Okay.
Sean Graham had the race suspending, was driving away from the field and just turning around in his lonesome.
No, somebody else's fault.
He'll be very disappointed with that.
No.
Back of the tank, following up John Amato, and he turned it around to avoid, and was collected by Colin Dovey. So the Amato car will need to be removed
Okay, John Kenny will lead them off in car number 98. Scotty Hunter second place, Ted Wright third, Paul Belfield will be fourth. Sid Streetfield, Rob Starkey, then I think it's Eddie Holt. Watch them as they come down past the Witch's Hat. They'll jump away to a quick start up front. And Glenn Smith comes in, followed by Michael Nash. Into the back straight they go. John Kenny's holed up a little bit up high, and as we speak, Scott Hunter comes right up on his inside now. Scott Hunter looking at the lead, but not able to take it. Down the front straight, Ted Wright has Paul Belfield. So 6 laps are down. We've got another mixed master on turn number 4. So the cars will get themselves going. They've got themselves started. The Tutu boy is down there, I think. Sean Graham is mixed up in that again. No, not Sean. Eric Hutchins, is it? So we're not going to award the Tutu to Sean. No, it's Eric Hutchins. You wouldn't think that car rolled over last night, would you?
No, he's did a great job in putting it back together, and great to see Eric on the track. I think you made the call that it's going to be fairly difficult conditions because the track has slicked off. It's had a lot of traffic on it, and inboard, and will be taking over the partners event.
Okay, so we're about to get a restart. They'll come around to the Witch's Hat once more. John Kenny, Scott Hunter almost took the lead off him after that last restart. So 6 laps down, I believe. I'm not sure on that, but I'll probably be right. Car number 98, John Kenny leads. Car 71, Scott Hunter. Behind them comes Ted Wright, Paul Belfield, Sid Streetfield. Oh, well, Eric Hutchins has gone back on with the job. He tucks onto the rear of the field. Down the back straight, we see Rob Starkey on the inside of Sid Streetfield. These guys are driving for keeps. Nothing, no sheep stations at stake for them, but they're giving it their all. So the race leader is still John Kenny. The car 71, Scott Hunter, hasn't been able to catch John Kenny this time. But down the back straight, I think, is that Eddie Holt making a big move. He's up past Sid Streetfield also on the tail. And we've lost a wheel. We've lost a wheel down there. And quite safe. The safety wall has done its job, so another hold up here as the wheel has come off a car down on the front straight. So we've gone red, but we will not need the ambos, I'm sure, because
Smith. At 12 laps still to run, so they're used to running this distance, that's for sure. And, John Kenny would dearly love to hold on and record his second win of the evening at this Australian Sedan Car Federation title. John Kenny on the way around the Witch's Hat, down the main straight. John Kenny, Scott Hunter, Paul Belfield, they're your top 3. Those 2 little Tiranas sitting behind the big Falcon of John Kenny, the Port Kennedy Crusader. John Kenny continues to lead this event over Scotty Hunter and Paul Belfield. Back to Ted Wright, Rob Starkey, Eddie Holt, and then Sid Streetfield, Michael Nash, Sean Graham, Ken Stoko. So down the main straight we go again. John Kenny in command, and this is a pretty tight contest. Kenny not really getting away as Eric Hutchings spins the model around part way and gets back onto the track. Here's Kenny down the main straight at the half distance, 10 to run for John Kenny. Not really under siege, but Scott Hunter and Paul Belfield have him well within their sights if they can get up there. Now Hunter just a little high on the track is going to allow Belfield a little bit of a look under. Doesn't happen, and all those 2 Tiranas get together, Belfield and Hunter, and Hunter turns it around on the infield, and he's probably going to put it into reverse, and we'll see if he can get back on the track. But John Kenny at this stage in command over Paul Belfield, Ted Wright, Rob Starkey, and Eddie Holt is the big mover. But just sitting in the dust is Scotty Hunter. Might be going to call it quits at this stage, don't know. And here comes John Kenny and Scott Hunter. Going to come onto the track any stages. Rob Starkey turns the model around in turns 3 and 4, but he's a right and away. And Hunter on the track, a lap down as the yellows come on to bring a bit of order to the race. So John Kenny absolutely in command at this stage. Paul Belfield would be running second and Ted Wright third, but a pretty eventful race, not managing to get a lot of laps down, and I'm sure that Scott Hunter wants to have a word to Peter Griffith, his stage, Chief Steward, about why and how he ended up on the infield.
Pretty interesting race. We've got Ken Stoker early in the race. Spent a lap on the infield. He's now midfield. Very Hutchings started on the restart lap, went on the infield, joined at the back of the field the next time round.
And then spun again.
Spun again, so he's on another lap. Stoker's on a different lap. Now there's Scott Hunter here who went nearly into the light pole there, has thrown it into reverse and is now back over here.
He spent a lap off the track in a sense.
He has in a way, but there was a collision on the backstrap which has caused the knock. I think that may be why the yellow lights have come on. But we'll wait and see. Just waiting for a confirmation. 12 laps down and 8 laps remaining.
Thank you very much, Don. 8 to run. 8 to run. With John Kenny, who probably reckons this race is going an interminable distance. He's been out in front for a long time. And whether a couple of these guys have a point to prove, because they've just dipped out on making the national title final field, and they'd like to win this one to show some of their supporters just how close they were. John Kenny away down the main straight, 8 to run. John Kenny now takes command of the race again over Paul Bilfield, Ted Wright and Eddie Holt, who's moved through this field quite well in the 31 car. Eddie Holt has come from a long way back to now be running fourth, and Scott Hunter loses the model on the back straight, sorts himself out again as we come down, put another lap down, so 7 to run by my reckoning as John Kenny and Paul Belfield sneak a little bit further away as Scott Hunter nice and wide on the track. John Kenny just seems to have the measure of Paul Belfield at this stage. And here's Eddie Holt charging up to Ted Wright. And Eddie Holt started about position 12 in this event, so he's made some significant progress. But whether he can go any further forward remains to be seen. Meanwhile, John Kenny and Paul Belfield start to move away from this pursuing pack with 5 to run, 5 laps to run of Collie Speedway for John Kenny. Sean Graham underneath Sid Streetfield. So Sean Graham, who led the race in the initial stages, spun out, was sent rear of field, is now back up to 5th, and he's going to work very heavily on both Eddie Holt and Ted Wright and just see if he can grab another couple of positions. Eddie Holt goes sideways in front of Sean Graham. They get together, sort themselves out. Graham just a little loose down the main straight. 4 laps to run now as Eddie Holt tries to come down underneath Ted Wright. Can he do so down the back straight? Eddie Holt up and away. Fast Eddie Holt, fast Eddie into third. Sean Graham now, into the side of Ted Wright and into the side Michael Nash, Sid Streetfield, Cole Dovey, Rob Starkey, a production sedan sandwich, and the lights on again. Some of the boys should be able to drive away. Ken Stoker in there as well. And Sean Graham just a little too quick into the side of Ted Wright in that corner, to the lap previous. But, certainly we'll just get officials of that in a moment, but the race has been declared and your winner will be John Kenny in the 98 car. Drove a fine race. Let's give him a big round of applause. Did it well in the 98 car. John Kenny in that Kettridge Stock Feeds car has taken victory over Paul Belfield, and either Eddie Holt or Ted Wright will be...
29, 25.
Ted Wright grabs third.